Going on, everybody? Friday night. Sorry I'm a little late. Was doing some laundry, got a little caught up, life. I hope everybody is doing well. I love you guys. I do. I truly do. I love doing this. Now, this feels like my normal Friday night. Last week I came on early just because I felt the urge to truly be with you guys. So, what should we talk about tonight? How about we talk about Father? I was like, what can I talk to these guys about? What can we truly talk to these guys about? Do they know who God is? Do you know God? If you do, either, what is it, Heath or Health? Health products, how you doing? So the question stands, do you know God? Everybody, especially in this day and age right now, is really searching for answers. And I think a lot of it stems from fear, right? Fear of death. What happens? What's on the other side? Do we really go to a wonderful, beautiful place? And my question is, and it stands right now, do you know God? So put your comments down there. That's the one thing I wanted to talk about today. Do you know God? You all say you do, but how many of you really know God? So I'm curious to know what your interpretations are about this. But anyways, I was doing some research, digging, meditating, like what I normally do. And I shine. Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon to you. It's evening here. It's 7:14. Aloha. Oh, yeah, I suppose it would be afternoon in Hawaii. Shine. So, but I want you all, because this is, and I'm going to do a video on this, not this week, because this video will be out for you guys to watch, but the following week on God. Do you know who God is? Many of you will say, well, of course I do. And then you'll try and give me an answer from a book. But I want you to tell me who God is. I know who God is. I know who my Father is. Like I said, I know who I am. What I am. But everything that you have gotten up until those that have had a near-death experience, who's ready and willing to put themselves out there for the abuse. Because as much as love that I get a lot of abuse from others. I'm a false prophet. I'm deceived. The devil has a hold of me. All of those good, wonderful things means nothing to me. I mean, your adoration means a lot to me. I love it, and I thank you for it. But to those who ridicule me, put me down, and others, I see them in the exact age of Earth, according to me, is probably around 13 to 15 billion years old or older. I mean, when we were growing up, we always heard that, the Earth or the universe or the Earth was, 4.2 billion years old. Well, now they've come to find out that they're seeing galaxies now that have been around for close to 12 billion years. Now, that's as far as they can see with the telescopes that they have out there. I'm telling you, we have been around since before what you would call time. Humans created time. Time simply does not exist. Everything is in the now, right? So time doesn't exist. But according, the best guess would be around 15 billion years old. We have been doing this for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Like I said, when it was in my second out-of-body experience, when I asked, how many times have I died? And I was in this wonderful world. I don't know where it was, but it felt like home. It looked like Star Wars. There were two suns. There was a being walking towards me. The ocean was there, and then my guide, Jeffrey, was standing next to me. And the instant number came over 3,200 times. I've been walking this earth for 20 to 30,000 years. Oh, you're in Texas, huh? I just like to say that to me, God can be experienced personally, subjectively. I don't know how, if I've ever seen your NDE. Well, if you go into my website, hon, or my YouTube channel here, scroll down to all my videos, and it will start with my NDE. And I've been talking about it. If you want to research me, you can just put in YouTube search Jason Janis NDE, and you'll see that I have a myriad of NDEs. But I did my own channel because I wanted the true information to be out there. When you give an interview, they can edit your video and put in what they want. Well, sometimes you have to speak harshly and say things people don't want to hear. I don't get that edited out with my channel. I'm real with all of you. I tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. I don't sugarcoat it. So I would suggest, going down to my videos after this, scroll down, and you can see where I talk about my near-death experience. Yeah, that's the question I want you guys to answer is, do you know God? Do you know who he or what God is? And upon my death, as I told you in my near-death experience, I was lied to. Everything that I was ever taught was a lie. Everything I was ever known to be true was completely proven false in a trillionth of a second. I knew exactly where I was. How is that possible? Guys, how is that possible that when I die, believing that I'm a Christian, believe that I had bisexual experiences as a young kid, outright rejecting the Holy Spirit, which according to Christianity is the unforgivable sin, pure and simple, atheist, I was welcomed home. I did nothing wrong. I knew where I was and I spoke it. Well, it was a thought that was projected because I'm looking at my body laying down on a bed and I'm more alive than I have ever been. And I knew where I was, home. I know who the light that I was in constant was, my Father, God. I was home, So, but that's something I want you guys to think about. Do you truly know who God is? I'm thinking about moving to Texas, by the way. I'm tired of Wisconsin. I'm tired of the Midwest. And I just feel a very big urge and a calling to move out west. So it's either Texas or Arizona, like Flagstaff area, Flagstaff. But I think that's really important. God is the creator of the universe. Okay. But I need more than that. I mean, we are all gods. We all created the universe. But who is God? What is God? When you think about it, it is a very tough question for you guys to answer. Now, if I was in your shoes, I would give the textbook example of the Bible. Like you just said, God is the creator of the universe. God is, this, but that's not the case. So what the universe is yes, I believe that it's not real. I mean, we believe it to be real because we have the best way you remember this old saying, I'm Gen X. Okay. I was born in 1970. So I'm pure unconditional Gen X, right? So I was taught this, that we were created in God's image. One, okay, well, God has no image because we don't have an image. You believe your bodies to be real. Girls, you touch your legs, you touch your boobs, you touch your crotch, you believe that it's real. Boys, your head, your penis, your butt, whatever, right? We're not our bodies. I've said this a gazillion times, right? But when we're created in God's image, you assume that it's a human form. It is not. Our bodies are holographic, which allowed Jesus to what? Walk through walls, turn around the corner and just disappear into another universe or another dimension, right? So yes, all of this is simply a hologram. It's just that. But remember what the saying, what I'm trying to get to is what the church would say, or what others would say. Remember, the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing all of us he's not real. Well, in that case, the devil is not real. There is no hell. Okay, there is no hell. There's no devil. But the greatest trick we all played on ourselves was convincing ourselves we're not God. So we can immerse ourselves in this dream to make it seem realistic in this realistic realm that we are in, this 3D realm. So that's the greatest trick we ever played on ourselves, was convincing ourselves we're not gods, that we are a human being, that we are this body of flesh and blood and bones and all of this crap. All right. So yeah, I believe, and you believe, that God unconditionally loving. Wow, what a synchronicity, because I have feared the... Yeah, there is no... If you've watched a lot of NDEs, like I have hundreds, do you know how many videos of atheists, NDEs? They're welcomed home. How is that possible? If the church says that is the unforgivable sin, for 40 years of my life, I told God to fuck off. I didn't believe you. You know, you have abandoned me to this abuse and this, all of this, which now I understand that I wanted it. I needed to grow from those experiences, so I chose it. So, but upon my death, I was welcomed home. He was waiting there for me, holding me, embracing me. I became one with the Father. I was one with everything. All of you, I was one with. So, yes, there is nothing for any of you to fear. You create fear yourself, so there's nothing to fear. All right? Nothing. There is no hell. You are created in God's image. You are a God. You simply exist as energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. So when we leave this form, we transition into our true selves, another energetic form. Energy. That's all we are. SP, hello. Could you please explain ghosts? Ghosts don't exist. They're simply you. If you see a ghost, all you are seeing, you're vibrating. How you're managing to do that, I don't know. But you're living in love. You're in perfect tune with that realm, and you simply see what you would consider someone from home. You're home, and sitting right next to you, watching on your computer, right? There are souls, your soul family, your guides, your archangels, they're all around you. You're not vibrating high enough to see them. That's all. So when you see a ghost, that you presume to see a ghost, I see flashes out of my eyes all the time, people walking by. You're just vibrating high enough to see that dimension where they're at. That's all. You see them because you're vibrating high enough to see them. They're just home. They're in another dimension. That's all. Children see them all the time. You hear them that they're playing with their imaginary friends, right? Well, they're not imaginary. They're their guardian angels. They're their friends, their buddies. Their children vibrate so highly that they can see them. That's why they say, Mom, my little friend is right here. Believe them. They're right there. They're just vibrating high enough to see them. How do you explain that scientists say we come from apes if the theory of evolution is wrong? Because scientists don't know what they're talking about. We've been walking this earth for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. If that's the best they can do, then that's the best they can do, you know? So there's a lot of mystery for people who haven't had any. Of course there is. And that's why you guys flock to someone that you resonate with, because somewhere within you, right, your soul, who you are, resonates so deeply to say, listen to him, listen to her, or whatever. You're drawn to what your soul is connecting to, your energy, right? And that's them, your higher self, and your soul saying, listen, this is it, right? So, hello. I'm glad I caught you again. I'm usually too late. Well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Marie, hello. Hi, hon. How are you? I strongly resonate with what you're saying. We need to start thinking like gods. Right. And right. So our Father, God, when he sees us, what we are, humans, he considers us very, very, very primitive. All right? Very primitive. We're a primitive species to our Father. We still can't quite understand that the only way to fix all of this is through love, right? So I'll give you prime examples. One thing that he would love us to see, I'll give you three things. One, he doesn't want to see us wearing clothes. We're so ashamed of ourselves because we've been taught badly about our sexual energy, right? That it's horrible, that it's sinful, that it's disgusting, that it's this, that, and that, right? And we all believe it. We all wear clothes. When our kids see us, we cover up like we're ashamed of ourselves. And we teach our children to be ashamed of themselves. So the wheels on the bus keep going backward and backward and backward, right? So he's like, there's nothing for you to be ashamed of. I gave you these beautiful bodies to be loved, to make love, to do this, and all you do is shun it away, right? We are good. Tired from the day, though. I'm tired from the day too. You're SP. You're welcome. How can I start to talk to you just start talking to them. Best way to do, I've been saying this for a while. It works. Quiet your mind, meditate, sit in silence in the dark like I do before bed, before I wake up, and talk to them. Say, I'm ready to receive. I'm open to receive. Now, is it going to flood in? You're going to see them? No, because it's going to take time. You have to raise your energy in order to really get those. And you'll wake up one night and you'll have a very vivid dream, and you'll know, or you'll see things, or you'll just start to know things. It'll come to you. Trust your intuition, guys. All right. Your intuition is critical. I call it my bullshit meter. My bullshit meter is at 1,000%. I know when somebody's lying to me, deceiving me within 20 seconds of them talking to me. All right. So start that. It's just a good routine to get. Like this morning, I was up at 3 o'clock, and then I laid there till 4 because I'm just brutally tired. But then I got up and I sat and I meditated. Last night before bed, same thing. From 7:30 to 8:30, I sat on my couch and I just quieted my mind. You have to go within. Everything you need is right here. Why can't we see? We're not meant to see it. We're meant to immerse ourselves in the dream. Okay? Only masters could see stuff like that. Jesus, I'm pretty sure, didn't see those kinds of things, even though he could have. He was talking and receiving messages like I'm talking to you, but even then, he still didn't see. Only masters can see that, right? So, and that takes a lot of time and skill, which is the direction that I'm heading in, because we come here for two things. One, to rediscover, and this is according to God, all right, who we are. We are constantly reinventing ourselves, right? This doesn't, you have an experience that didn't work out for you, right? So you stop and change the course you're on, right? You're constantly reinventing who you are, trying to find your true self through the experiences that you have in your everyday life, regardless of whether that's your sexual energy, your job, friends, co-workers, whatever, right? The career you want to have, this, that, and the other. You are constantly reinventing yourself to say, who are you? I know who I am. I know the direction I'm going, which is to teach, to be here with all of you, to make my videos, to be on the stage one day talking to all of you, all right? In the flesh, in live, on a stage where I can reach hundreds of you, thousands of you. It's going to happen. But that's what you're here for. So when I tell people this, you're not going to like when I say this, okay? Adolf Hitler is in heaven. He is home. All right? God did not see what he was doing as wrong. He looks at it as right and wrong are relative terms, all right? Hitler, was trying to find out who he was in this physical reality. What's sad about that whole part is that millions and millions of people followed that that concept, right? I can come up with all kinds of things. How many of you are going to follow me? It was truly shocking that a nation followed him in that. But that's regardless. You're here to find out who you truly are. The Chandler Paul Selig is great. Into that he has channeled how fear is a terrible. Fear works in two places. First, you get scared, right? And then when you level fear up to the next level, right? So fear, you get scared down here, right? And then you get angry. Now, angry is in the physical form, right? Where you can punch someone, say something horrible, demeaning, nasty. So fear is a terrible teacher. You are absolutely correct. Fear does not exist. You are creating that in your mind, your subconscious, your ego is creating that. So you have to let go of that. When you start to feel yourself falling into that, remember who you are, that you're a God, that you are beautiful, you're perfect. You are created from your Father in absolute perfection, and that there's nothing to fear, that this situation you're going through is just a learning experience and nothing more. Don't label it as hard, bad, good, this, that. Learn from it, cut it off, and move on. Well, hello there. What would you say the spiritual importance of raising kids, and is it difficult if you have your own kids versus adopting? Well, in the grand scheme of life, Father would say having children, having a family like that makes it harder for you to rediscover who you are, right? Because you're spread thin. And I've told you this before, guys. You come first. And there's another term for that, right? And I'm getting into your question about having kids, right? So you need to be self-centered. Okay, when everything in our society says you are to sacrifice. The church says you are to sacrifice. If you're being beaten by your husband or a spouse or being sodomized against your will, oh, I wouldn't be a good Christian if I said you can't get a divorce. Wrong. You come first. So having children makes that extremely difficult for you to become self-centered, because now you have to spread yourself so far apart to recognize your spouse, to recognize your children, to give to your children, to work harder, to make more money, right? Then you become disenchanted and say, why the fuck is this shit not working out for me? Why? Because your subconscious is saying you're not supposed to be here. This is where you're supposed to be. But yet you still keep trying to do the right thing and, provide for your family. So, right, you've all been heavily programmed the wrong way. You've been taught wrong. That's part of my channel, is to say, listen, you've been taught wrong. I know this goes against everything you have been ever taught. And that's true. The church did that to you. And you guys are so confused and so baffled. It's like, masturbating is good. God doesn't see my marriage in any way. No. Why? You know why marriages fail? Relationships fail. I'll get to you guys in a minute. I want to have kids for my own sake. Have kids. There's nothing wrong with that. Have them. It's beautiful. But remember, you have to take time for yourself. You have to tell your kids. You have to tell the spouse. I don't know if you're male or female, but you have to tell your spouse, I need an hour in the morning to myself, and I need an hour to myself in the evening. I don't care what you do in between that time. I need to be left alone. All right. But the reason why marriages and relationships fail is because you're constantly rediscovering who you are, right? Now, all of a sudden, you've been with somebody for 8 to 10 years. You no longer are in that direction anymore. It's not where you're meant to be. So that relationship is over. It's not to say ditch it quickly, but 9 times out of 10, you guys don't date long enough. I fell into that trap, right? If you dated for a year, if you dated for a year and you really held off on intimacy for a year, you would find out whether you were compatible with that partner or not. You would know if you jive. And if you didn't, then you guys would separate and go say, that wasn't for me, right? But we all jump into relationships. We're having sex first day, second day. It's all great. Honeymoon's over, and you have nothing in common. Now you have kids. Now you feel obligated by the church, by society, because you can't have single parents raising kids on welfare, right? Well, in essence, that's your fault. I fell into that trap too. I won't do it again. I've been single for 10 years. When my twin flame comes, then I will jump into that relationship again. Until then, nothing. Hey, Jason, it's me again. Hey. My mom does tarot, and I've been told what she does is demonic. No, there's no such thing as demons, period. There's no hell, there's no devil, there's no demons. So whoever's telling you that, say, hey, thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it, but I wish you the best of luck. I watched all of a sudden on my feed, and I've never watched this before, all these tarot card readings about a Taurus, because I'm a Taurus. I'm a Taurus moon, Aquarius. Taurus sun, Aquarius moon, and Sagittarius rising, right? So all of a sudden, all of these Taurus readings are coming up in tarot. I've never watched it before. That's the divine saying, hey, your manifestations are coming true. So don't listen to it. It's absolutely fine. They're just in alignment with being a psychic. They can feel it, all right? Nothing wrong with it. But it's up to you. Don't put all your faith into cards, right? But if you're following your intuition and it's syncing and it feels right, then there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Nothing. Good. I'm glad you can see that. Yes, fear in the churches took away our common sense, critical thinking, and self-love. We are now, yes, you need to self-love yourself. Love yourself. You come first. No other comes before you. Period. Your Father knows this. Jesus knows this. Jesus was teaching this 2,000 years ago. What I'm teaching you is not new age. This shit's old school. It's just been swept under the rug and politely hidden, thinking the church was going to get away with it. Well, there's too many of us now that are coming forth and saying, no, I don't believe that. No, it ain't true. No, So do you think, I can't see that. What is that? Do you think Agatha is in Antarctica? What is that? Someone we know is telling me she can't deal with selfish people, upset about the way I communicate. I told her we are all selfish, even her. She said that she doesn't agree with it. Well, that's her problem. That's something that she's got to work on, Marie. We need to focus in on ourselves. We came here to work on ourselves. Jason, are you going to start classes? As soon as I get more people, I think only 3 people have really messaged me on the meditation. I'll tell you what, after today, if nobody messages me over the weekend, then I will set that up. I'll reach out to all of you. And then for all of those that wanted the meditation, I'll set up the Zoom and we can go from there. All right. But you've got to message me in my description box in my videos. It's a Gmail account. All right. So go in there, hit the more, find ways to actually reach out to me and contact me. I'll reach out to you all and then we'll find a time and a place. But yes, I will schedule those for you guys. The law of karma. Do you understand what karma is? Most of you don't. I did a video on that. I would highly encourage you guys to watch my video on karma. It's excellent. I did it very well. I love it. But simply put, there is no bad person. If you think God would create something bad, then that's why I asked you in the beginning, do you know God? Because there is no bad person. God doesn't create anything that is not out of love. So yes, Adolf Hitler is in heaven. Jeffrey Dahmer is in heaven. John Wayne Gacy is in heaven. Joseph Stalin, Ed Gein, all the serial killers, the Zodiac killer. Everybody is at home. There is no bad. So anyways, karma is simply the act of doing. So people, you guys use it as what comes around goes around. You were an asshole last night, so I'm glad you got in a car accident. That's your karma. That's wrong. That is not what karma is. Karma is simply the act of doing. Right now, all of you 16 that are watching me and me talking to you, this is our karma. We're interacting in a spiritual group, exchanging, asking questions and getting answers. This is our karma. Don't label it. Well, this is great. This is good. Blah, blah, blah. No, this is love, ladies and gentlemen. This is love. I love you. All right. You guys don't understand the depth of my love that I have for all of you. So this is our karma. So what do we got? Hey, Jason, do you think after our last incarnations, we would then go to an earth where our power was more reached out? We could fiction, nonfiction, cartoon books, and video games. You're going to keep coming back. Like me, I've told you guys that I am running out of incarnations. I am at the end of my lives. All right. I'm not going to incarnate much. Why? I rediscovered who I am. I know who I am without question or doubt. So if somebody were to say, do you know God? Without question, I know who my Father is. There's no doubt in my mind. And that part is, for many of you, is going to take hundreds, if not thousands of lifetimes to figure out, right? Because you're constantly recreating who you are. So when you incarnate and it's your last life, you simply become enlightened, and that will be your last incarnation. You will never do it again. But while we're transitioning into this 5D, those that have ascended, they will incarnate into the new 5D earth. Not right away. They may go back to what you know as a past life, and then will incarnate again. But that time they incarnate, it will be into the new earth. Those that have not ascended, they will not ascend into the 5D earth. They will fall back into another 3D planet that Father picks out. So, do some souls choose to not go to heaven? Do some souls not? No, everybody goes home. Now, there are some that are stuck in the void. So that is still heaven. It's just you're in heaven with the lights out. Okay. They don't know where they are. They're scared. So they're living in fear. So they're not allowed to reach any higher into the higher realms of heaven until they, raise their vibration or energy. But no, everybody goes home. Nobody's going to be denied going home. Not now, not ever. Period. But he believes we all have the choice after the life review based on reaction to. No, when you watch your life review, it's in a split second. Boom, it's over and done with. You see it, right? And then that's it. You're home. Then you're free to go, do whatever you want to do. You're home. You can hang out with your soulmate, what you consider as your parents, your grandparents. If you had a child pass before you meet your children again. You're with your soul family and you hang out and you relax. But eventually there's going to come a time where you're going to pop up and say, okay, I'm ready to go back to Earth. Then you're going to create your life. You're going to watch this last incarnation. You're going to see what you need to work on. You're going to up the ante a little bit. Then you're going to bring it forth to your Father, God. He's going to look at it and say, okay. And then you're going to pick your parents. You're going to pick where you want to go. And then when your timeline comes, woof, off you go. Jay, you can experience that if you want, but you don't have to wait to die to experience it. That's correct. You don't. There's been a couple of out-of-body experiences I've had right here on this couch. Boom, I was in another place. But if you want to fully experience a trip going home into what you call heaven, it's most profoundly done through a near-death experience, from my experience. Now, some people say they've had strong STI, spiritually transformative experiences. I don't have one. I can't comment on that. So I don't know. All I know is that through a near-death experience, that's what you experience. But I've heard people say that they've had profound experiences through an STI. I don't doubt that one bit. Not one bit at all. Are we We plan our lives ahead before we come to earth. That is correct. Yes, you plan your life. The things that you want to experience, the thing that your soul, remember, you're not your body. So what's inside here is your being, your soul. That soul wants to experience some things. Why do you want to experience? Because you already know everything, right? It's not good enough for God, all of us being gods, right? For all that is, all that I am knows everything, but that wasn't good enough. I am wants to experience that which he already knows, thus creating us to experience that for him. So right now, God is experiencing everything that is taking place on this earth right now through us. So when you're making love, he's experiencing it. When you're getting hurt or cutting your hand, he's feeling it. He already knows it hurts, but now through an actual cut, he can feel it. That is why we are here. But in that, we need to rediscover who we are to know that we're God. I know who I am. There's no doubt in my mind. So what do you think we need to do to ascend? Sometimes I get glimpses of that crisp brightness, but it doesn't last long. I went through my ascension, was it last year? No, it was the year before, 2000. Wow, has it been that long? Yeah, I guess. In 2023, when I lost my job and then I got really sick, I started losing weight. I got really sick. I told you guys about my ascension symptoms and what I was going through, surgery here on the couch, losing all that weight. I put 10 pounds on and I feel like a fat cow. I'm very unhappy with my weight. But I ascended. You guys, for all of you, it may happen naturally, but for most of you, you really have to go within and start to believe who you are. Believe these teachings that I'm teaching you. Go back and watch these videos again that I put out there for you. The only way that you're going to get to the new earth is to ascend. All right. Without it, when everybody dies in the old earth, this earth will disappear, this version of it, and God will pick another 3D planet, low vibrational planet somewhere, and that is where you'll incarnate. You'll have no recollection of what you know as of earth. It will just cease to exist. Do you think the story of Samson is true? If so, do you think it's... Sorry, guys. I don't believe in any of that. No. Most of that stuff is just hogwash, like the parting of the Red Sea and let my people go. That crap never happened. I'm sorry. No. That would mean that God chooses just a specific set of religions when he doesn't believe in religion to begin with. Remember what I told you? God doesn't care about religion. Doesn't care what you are. It means nothing to him. So now why would God create just everybody else just to damn them to some place that doesn't exist, which means he's damning himself to a place that doesn't exist. So you understand where I'm coming from? So no, that doesn't, no, I don't believe in it. No. Question. Why do people say they see demons, Satan, or hell in visions or dreams without a near-death experience? Because that's their mind trying to play, they're trying to react to something. Like, all right, I'll tell you, this is a good example. It was yesterday. I woke up to a horrific nightmare. The first time in many, 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 many years. And it was me. I think this was living a past life. They were showing me a past life where I was a murderer. I was killing people. And it was very real. It was very realistic. It was, I see my stomach is itching, so that means they're with me here. I'm beginning to itch. Where I was murdering people, killing people. It was a life. I don't know who I didn't recognize the people around me. I didn't recognize any of it, except I was killing people, and I was horrified. I woke up panicked, but that was them showing me a past life. So when people are saying that they see demons, Satan, or hell, they're just, in my personal opinion, okay, this is all it is, that they're just having a nightmare, nothing more. Like, that's it. Because There is nothing. And now you remember, you leave your body at night. Every time you fall asleep, say you come home and you pass out on the couch, right? You fell asleep. And then you wake up, oh, you think nothing. You left your body. You're gone. You're in other dimensions. You're in other realms. You're in other planets. You're gone. You're away from your body. Your body needs sleep. We never do. So it could be that she was just interacting with in or and out of fear. She didn't know where she was. So what happens when you're in that realm, out of the human body? You instantly create, manifest what comes to mind, right? So that's probably what she was doing. She woke up, realized that where the hell am I? Scared. Nothing more than that. Or their birth. Remember, when I chose my family, I chose to be born into that family. I was abused. All right. It's something my soul wanted to experience. Remember, I'm not my body. I'm not a male. I'm not Jason Janis. All right. I am a divine being, a multidimensional being, a soul, extremely powerful. I wanted to experience that, or therefore God wanted to experience it. So I chose those beings to be born into. I chose that family. I chose those experiences. Now it's simply to grow from, to grow, to again figure out who you are. I realized being an empath as a young boy, a very deeply loving boy who loved deeply, in any ding on me, I took it as personal, deeply personal, still do to this day. But it took me 4 years after my death to realize that I was an empath my whole life. But I chose that. Why? My soul wanted to experience that. Hence, I needed to be a boy to go through what I needed to go through. I'm really itching, guys. Wow. Okay, I'm talking. I am. So I needed to go through that. That's it. You are considering that experience suffering. It's not. It's simply an experience. We have to label it because we're trying to make sense out of something. We don't know what it really is, right? So we begin to label these things as good, bad. We're suffering. Wow, this is joyous and fun. It's all an experience, guys. And we're on the hamster wheel. Remember, we're constantly trying to discover and rediscover who we are through those experiences. So when you're going through a difficult time, a harder time, just look at it as, I needed to learn this. Learn what you needed from it and then move on. Don't get stuck in that pain. Don't get stuck in that darkness. Move on. Okay, I learned from it. I don't like that. I didn't enjoy that. I don't want that anymore. And then again, you're on that journey of rediscovery, right? So then I don't want to experience that again. I know what not to do and think to get myself into that situation again. So that's their beliefs and their projections. It's meant to learn from and teach. Correct. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely. Don't let yourself fall into fear. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So when you go through a challenging time, step out of that time, look at it and say, what does my soul need to learn out of this? What do I need to learn? And then when you figure that out, say, okay, all right, I accept that. All right, I really didn't care for that. I'm not going to deal with that. Right? I don't want that again in my life. And we choose to move on into something that suits us better, right? Well, there you go. Energy. It's like right here. It always comes into my stomach. It's like I start to itch. That means I can feel them. They're here. They're like encouraging this. So they're right next to me. I can feel it. The energy is crazy. And if you can feel it too, well, good for you, so that's crazy. But that's just the way it is. We work. We're energy, guys. That's why when we leave our bodies, these bodies don't mean it. When I told you I looked at my body, I had no love of it. I did not care about it. It was simply a tool that we get around in this 3D world. Just like when you get up and go to work every day, you get into your car, your vehicle. Do you identify yourself as that? I'm a Jeep Grand Cherokee. No. It's something you use to get around in your world, right? Well, for us to get around in this world, we have to have a body, a suit, a spacesuit. This is what this is, nothing more. It's a beautiful suit. It's beautifully constructed to get around in this world. It's a sensory suit, right? When we touch ourselves, when we touch something hot or cold, or we're making love, it's a sensory suit. It makes us alive in this material 3D world. So just look at this world next time you're out and about. Like if you go to the grocery store in the morning, okay? Like I might go to the grocery store in the morning. When you get out and you step out into the world, look around and know that it's not real. It's a figment of your imagination, right? It's still real. We still have to live here. Right? But know that it's not real. It's not where we come from. This isn't our home. It's a temporary home where we have. And I say it every morning. I say, good morning, guys. You know, I love you. Thanks to the birds and the bees and the trees, the sun. I love you all. I still have to live in this 3D world, even though I know it's not real. So it is difficult, but you have to realize that it's not real. Because the universe is expanding real fast, faster than you can ever imagine, okay? Then I'll imagine it gets to here, right? And all of a sudden it stops. It'll grow no further. And then it's going to do what? Collapse in on itself. Just like the Big Bang, except it went out, except it's going to come in and it's going to cease to exist. And then the whole process is going to start all over again. All of a sudden it's going to be blank space, and all of a sudden, kaboom, an explosion. And then another universe will be born. And there we go again, right? I have like 5 dozen eggs, but I only buy the brown eggs, you know, natural fed, you know, chickens and stuff. I don't buy the eggs. Too many chemicals given to the birds and the chickens. We've got to stop this stuff. So before I go, I want to say one thing. All right, I got about 10 minutes. So I know a lot of you guys aren't happy with the world right now, and that's good. So Father is very concerned. All right, that's when I told you that if World War III starts, we're going to be exterminated. And World War III is going to start in about 8 to 10 years. It's not far away, but we can stop it. How? What are we? Gods, right? We are gods, created in our Father's image, made up of our Father. Like the ball of cookie dough, he takes a little bit out and he creates us. Another one, another one, another one. All of us look different, meaning different energy colors. Some are stronger in oranges, pinks, and blues. Some of us are, you know, greener and oranger and magenta. Regardless, we all have to come together. When I said in my near-death experience, when I died, I was one with everything, including all of you. So all of us on this earth right now could heal the earth right now. Means if we all came together as a collective consciousness, remember that we're not individuals, that we are all one. That's where you guys are stuck. You get out and you see everybody going grocery shopping, except this time, instead of seeing all those different people, say, wow, look at all those different versions of myself going out and about today. Because literally it's you projecting all of those people differently from yourself. Do you think there's no such thing as fiction or nonfiction? Yeah, no. There is only now. Just now. Everything is taking place is right now. There is no past, there is no fiction, there is no this. Everything is right now. I call it the now. Everything is taking place right now. So when you're out and about in public, when you get out and you start driving, you say, wow, look at all of me. These people are all me. And they are. All of you that I'm talking to different versions of myself. That's it. There you go. Local farmers, good. Prefer the brown eggs. You know, eat healthy, eat organic. I'm trying to eat more and more salads. I made a big pot of homemade chicken soup. So I had all the fresh veggies and chicken, and it was wonderful. So I'm trying to eat healthier. But after my ascension, after I lost those 65 pounds, I put on 10 or 15. I'm not happy with it, but whatever. I can go on about that forever. So in order, we could actually heal the earth right now, all of us. If we had, well, there's 8 billion. Say if we had 5 billion, 5.5 to 6 billion people come together as one at one point in time and say, no more war, all war would stop. Second thing, I want all of the oceans, all of the rivers, all of the lakes, and all of the streams clean. All of us said that at the same time. All of the oceans, rivers, and lakes and streams would run clean, meaning you could go there with a cup of water, put it in there, and drink from it, and it would be healthy. We could stop and heal the destruction of our forests, rainforest, by all of us coming together and say, rebuild this planet and its forests. Trees would sprout everywhere. You don't understand, guys, how powerful you are. We can do this. All of us. We can come together and fix this planet right now. We can end all wars. We can end all starvation. We could create equality among us. We can have an egalitarian society where everyone has everything. No one will be without a home, food, clothing, shelter. The difference between that and now is the haves won't give up to the have-nots, to all of us who are suffering without enough of anything, right? They don't want to give up that. So we all suffer. But until we can come together as one, and create that without having to wipe ourselves off this earth through war, we're headed towards that. And that is the whole point of my channel, is to wake you guys up to realize when you go grocery shopping and you get in that car and you go to work every day, look around you. Look at those cars and people going by. That's you. That's all you. Jesus was from home. He was a master. He realized that this is all a joke. It's all a dream. He chose love in every aspect of his life. Love. He chose love in everything. No matter what he was facing, no matter how loving or how difficult it was, he chose love. He chose to teach love. He chose to be love. He was the epitome of love. That is why God chose him. He was just further up the ladder. He knew who he was. That's why he said, I and the Father are one. My consciousness is my Father. It's the same thing. It's no different than you and I. There you go. Why so serious? That's right. You guys need to lighten up and realize that when you go to work and you see people out on the shop floor or in the office, just stop and look. Just look and say, that's me. So when somebody gets mad at you, just when you're looking at them, when I laugh sometimes, say, that's just another version of me that's pissed off at me. Right? So that's why I don't really get angry at anybody anymore, because it's just me, guys. Was his soul born before most? No, he was just further along his journey. But that's a good question. He could have been, right? He could have been. His enlightenment came in the year 33 AD, 2,000 years ago. My enlightenment is going to come, what, maybe in 100 years, after 5 to 6 to 8 more lives? Who knows, you know? So that's just, he was further along on his journey than we were, right? And I'm a chosen one. Some of you are chosen out there that may watch this video. You'll know what I mean by it being a chosen one. God specifically selects you for these missions, for these things, because, you know, you are up there with your knowledge, your wisdom, your experiences here in this realm. So Jesus was simply a master. He was chosen because of that. And if God were to come and say, I need you for this right now, there's no way in hell that I could possibly do that job. No way. Nope. As much as I love you, I'm just not there yet. I know that. I know that I'm learning the mastery right now. I'm not there yet. So they're lost in their materialistic world. When I'm on my iPad at night, I'm watching spiritual things. But you're all caught up in your materialistic world. You believe in it. You're entranced by it. You're sucked in to the vortex of it. So that's why, guys. What time is it? Yeah, it's been an hour. I got to go. I love you guys. Contact me about the meditation. All right. It's in the description. It's loveandlightjason@gmail.com. You'll find a way. All of those that want that meditation, hit it up. I got to go. My laundry's beeping. I love you guys. I'm going to do a video on what is God, who is God. Not this week because I've got this live out, but that I'll do. And hopefully that will give you guys some thought. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for joining me again on my Friday night, your Friday night. I love you all so very much. I have a beautiful weekend. And to whoever asked me, I've never seen your NDE, go to my channel, scroll all the way down, and you'll see where I start my channel with my own near-death experience. And then you can scroll up and see my other videos. All right, guys, I love you. Have a blessed weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.